Hello and welcome to this video on how to seduce anyone according to psychology. Whether you're looking to build a romantic connection, make new friends, or even persuade others to see things your way, understanding the psychology of seduction can be incredibly helpful. In this video, we'll explore the science of attraction, the power of body language, the art of persuasion, building emotional connections, and overcoming obstacles to seduction. So let's get started. The science of attraction. Attraction is a complex phenomenon that has fascinated researchers for decades. While we often think of attraction as being based on physical appearance, there's a lot more going on beneath the surface. One important factor in attraction is the role of pheromones. Pheromones are chemicals that are produced by the body and released into the air, where they can be detected by others. Research has shown that pheromones can play a role in attraction, as they can indicate things like genetic compatibility and overall health. Physical appearance also plays a role in attraction, though it's important to note that what we find attractive can vary widely depending on cultural and personal preferences. That being said, some universal traits tend to be considered attractive, such as symmetry and clear skin. Another important factor in attraction is similarity. We tend to be attracted to people who are similar to us in terms of interests, values, and personality traits. This is known as the similarity attraction principle. The power of body language. When it comes to seduction, body language can be incredibly powerful. Our nonverbal cues can communicate much about our intentions and emotions, often more so than our words. One key aspect of body language is eye contact. Maintaining eye contact can communicate confidence and interest, while avoiding eye contact can suggest shyness or disinterest. Of course, it's important to strike a balance, as staring too intensely can come across as aggressive or creepy. Another important aspect of body language is posture. Standing up straight and taking up space can communicate confidence and dominance, while slouching or crossing your arms can communicate defensiveness or insecurity. Open gestures, such as uncrossed arms and palms facing upward, can also communicate openness and friendliness. Mirroring the body language of the person you're speaking with can also be effective, as it can create a sense of rapport and connection. The art of persuasion. Persuasion is a crucial component of seduction, as it involves convincing others to see things your way. There are a variety of psychological techniques that can be used to persuade others. One powerful technique is the foot in the door technique. This involves starting with a small request, such as asking someone to sign a petition, and then following up with a larger request, such as asking for a donation. The idea is that the small request primes the person to be more likely to comply with the larger request. Another effective technique is social proof. This involves using evidence that other people are already doing what you want them to do. For example, if you're trying to convince someone to try a new restaurant, you might mention that it's always busy and popular with locals. Finally, scarcity can also be a persuasive technique. This involves highlighting the fact that a particular opportunity or item is limited in some way, such as being available for a limited time or in limited quantities. This can create a sense of urgency and make the person more likely to act. Building emotional connections. While physical attraction and persuasion can be effective in the short term, building emotional connections is crucial for long-term seduction. Emotional connections involve creating a sense of intimacy and vulnerability with another person. One effective way to build emotional connections is through active listening. This involves paying attention to what the other person is saying, asking follow-up questions, and showing empathy. When someone feels truly listened to and understood, they're more likely to feel a connection with the listener. Another effective technique for building emotional connections is sharing personal stories and experiences. When we share our vulnerabilities and struggles with others, it can create a sense of shared experience and empathy. Of course, it's important to be mindful of boundaries and only share what feels comfortable and appropriate. Showing genuine interest in the other person's life and experiences can also help build emotional connections. This involves asking questions about their interests, goals, and values, and actively listening to their responses. Overcoming obstacles. No matter how skilled you are at seduction, there will always be obstacles to overcome. One common obstacle is rejection. It's important to remember that rejection is a normal part of the seduction process, and not to take it personally. Instead, try to reframe rejection as a learning opportunity and use it to improve your approach in the future. Another common obstacle is fear of failure. This can lead to a lack of confidence and hesitation to make a move. To overcome this, it can be helpful to focus on the process rather than the outcome. Instead of worrying about whether or not you'll be successful, focus on enjoying the experience of getting to know someone and practicing your seduction skills. Finally, it's important to practice self-compassion when faced with obstacles. Seduction can be challenging, and it's normal to make mistakes along the way. Instead of beating yourself up for perceived failures, try to treat yourself with kindness and understanding. In conclusion, understanding the psychology of seduction can be incredibly helpful in building connections and relationships with others. By focusing on the science of attraction, the power of body language, the art of persuasion, building emotional connections, and overcoming obstacles, you can become a more skilled seducer. However, it's important to remember that seduction should always be done ethically and with respect for others' boundaries and autonomy. With practice and mindfulness, you can become a master of the art of seduction.